Hello and welcome to another of our TBK cooks here from Dubai, and today we're making a summer salad. It's a French salad called salad niçoise. So we're going to start off with the ingredients in just a moment, and then we're going to cook our potatoes in salted water. We're going to put them in cold water, bring them to the boil, and then we're going to cook them until they are fork hard. The other ingredients that you will need are tomatoes, olives, green beans, which I have cooked and blanched, hard-boiled eggs, tuna, ignore the cheese, that's for later on for me, a dressing, and I'll show you how to make that in a little while. It's got Dijon mustard, it's got thyme, it's got vinegar, it's got oil, and it's delicious, and lettuce, and then finally I just need to prepare my radishes, which I'm going to top and tail and quarter. Et voila, les potatoes. Yes, French recipe, salad niçoise, calls for a bit of French. So potatoes are boiled for about 5 minutes. They are fork ready, i.e. when I put the fork into it, it doesn't fall apart, which would mean they were overcooked. And when I taste it, which I just did, they're quite, nice al dente. They are cooked. So we're going to prepare the green beans now for our salad niçoise. And to do this, we need to, first of all, top and tail them. Let's take off the two end bits here. We use an upturned bowl to do this because we don't have a chopping board, and a sharp knife. I'm using my steak knife. Then we cut each piece in half like this. We put it into a saucepan with some salt in it, and then once it's all done, all cut up, we're going to add boiling hot water. Then we're going to let it boil for 2 to 4 minutes so that they become al dente. But to maintain their greenness, we're going to put them straight into an ice bath. So I'm going to put some ice and cold water in here, and we'll put them straight from the saucepan into here, and that will make sure that they keep their colour. So 4 minutes is up, and we have now put the green beans into the sink with the cold water and the ice, and they'll get reduce in temperature, so they won't lose their vitamins and their colour. And you might be wondering what I did with the water. I suddenly had a panic. Where am I going to put the hot water? Because the sink is full. But I put it into another saucepan. Smart, eh? Matalino, as they say in Tagalog. Next, we need 4 hard-boiled eggs. So we're going to take the water that we used to cook the beans in, because the eggs are in shells, so the water isn't going to affect them. We've added a bit more water as well, and we've put it onto a high heat, putting the lid on now, and I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes to make sure they're hard boiled. So we'll come back to them in 10 minutes time. But again, we're going to drain off the hot water and put them in cold water so they cool down, ready for the salad. I always try and multitask while I'm cooking. So whilst the eggs were boiling, I got to work on my dressing, and I've had to substitute some of the ingredients here because there's some things that I don't have or cannot use. So for example, I have got vinegar, white vinegar like we use for the Filipino dishes, instead of white wine vinegar. We have used the salt, half a teaspoon of salt, some pepper. Again, I don't have olive oil here, and because I'm only here for another week, I didn't want to go and buy a bottle. So I'm using up my sunflower oil. That was 3/4 of a cup of sunflower oil. Add 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard to this salad, because you might have realized salad niçoise is French, and it has lots of French ingredients like Dijon mustard. So that's our dressing is almost ready, and I think our eggs are probably almost ready over here as well. Let me have a little look at the timer. So my eggs have boiled. We've run them under cold water, drained the hot water, and left them here. Yeah, that's nice and cold. We'll peel them in just a second. We're supposed to use 8 cherry tomatoes for this, but I didn't have my chopping list, so I bought 4 large tomatoes. So I've used 2 of them because that's probably as much tomato as there is green beans, and the tuna we're going to add a little bit later. And then it says add salt and pepper to taste and mix it in a bowl. So I'm going to use the leftover the tub from the vanilla ice cream we had the other day. I've just written a blog today about recycling and reusing containers. So this is one of the ways that I reuse containers. Once the ice cream is finished, I clean it out and I use it to store food and I use it to mix food. The next thing I'm going to get is my black olives, which are pitted, and I'm going to measure out the correct amount of those and drain out the sauce. So here we are, assembling our dish. I have placed some of the lettuce leaves on the plate. Then I've put the cooled potatoes on top of that. This ingredients that we give you serves 4 people, so I'm preparing half of it now, and then I'm going to have half of it later on. So next to go on are the hard-boiled eggs, and we've cut those into 4 pieces. The haricot vert, the green beans, which we, if you remember, cooked and then put into the ice cold water to keep the green colour, and then also the radishes, which we quartered. And then finally I'm going to put the tuna on top, and we've got 2 cans of tuna. I was trying to find some fresh tuna, but I couldn't, so I bought 2 cans of tuna in water rather than tuna in oil, which is a bit fattening. So we're going to put that over the top now, and then we're going to add the tomatoes, and then we're going to drizzle them with the dressing, and then we're going to top with the olives. So there you have it. There is my beautiful salad niçoise for later on in the week, and also for our lunch today. So that only leaves one part of the video, and that's the tasting. And today we have a real true taste test, because I've invited my good friend John Rick for lunch, so I'm going to get him to do the tasting. And tell us what he thinks.
Good.
Good?
It's good, yeah.
Try something else. There's lots of different things. There's potato, tomato, radish, dressing, salad, olives, tuna fish. Nice. Masala.
Masarap. Nice.